Hey guys, what is up? Happy Monday to everybody. Guess what? It's Ham Radio Monday, where everything happens with ham radio. We talk about everything with ham radio. CW, we talk about analog versus DMR. We talk about programming, we talk about how to program, and we talk about other things related to ham radio that are related. Today's topic, we're going to talk about code plugs, how to program your DMR radio with a specific code plug. Okay, we're going to get into, first off, we're going to talk about Brandmeister, how you set that all up. We're going to talk about what a code plug is specifically. And it was pretty neat today. Everybody's running around with DMR radios. We'll get into that today at Walmart. Everybody's running around with them little dinky DMR radios. So, there's a continuation. I've talked about last week what is DMR. Go check that out. Today, we're going to talk about what a code plug is specifically for DMR, and we're going to talk about how to program your radio. We're going to focus on this little guy, the RT3S. So, when you turn this radio on, you're going to hear that. And we have, hold on. We have contacts, channel details, RSSI, firmware info, options, last heard, radio information, satellite, GPS, zone, and we wrap. We're going to click on zone.
Zone, menu, H-O-T,
There's my hotspot zone. There's a local DMR. There's a Tucson FM repeater. All channels. So, if we click into all channels, we can click into any one of these. See, we can click into this. Okay. There's the worldwide English. Okay, there's the local master. Okay, there's the America. Okay. So that's pretty much what happens when you program a code plug. Now, what is a code plug? Well, a code plug is basically a file that allows your digital radio. Because remember, guys, the old days of analog are just punching in a frequency, making sure your shift is right, and your PL tone. Some of them don't require tone. Some of them are called split repeaters. Some of you might have your receive and transmit. Okay? Those are analog. Okay? And how you can tell analog? Where you get that little squelch tail behind it. Okay? DMR, no squelch tail. How did I know today at Walmart they're running around with the DMR radios? Because I didn't hear no squelch tail. This is digital days, guys. Okay? This is digital days. So, obviously, they had a Walmart or a factory of the radio, whoever, whether it be Motorola or whether it be any of the other radio brands, put a code plug in for Walmart. Okay? So, you could have talk groups. Now, let's get into talk groups. What are talk groups? Talk groups, like I said last week, are rooms. Go watch my What is DMR video. It's very explained. Now we're going to talk about what goes in a code plug specifically. It could be anything. You could have analog channels. I just showed you that in a zone. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about how you program specifically your RT3S using the OpenGD77 firmware, CPS. Okay? And for all my blind friends out there, you can make this totally accessible. I just explained that to you. Okay? So, we're going to turn this puppy back on here again. And we're going to go into Okay. Okay. We're going to make our first DMR contact right on video, and then we'll get into what we're going to really talk about. KC7UDH. Radio check on... I'm doing a ham radio video on my YouTube channel. Radio check for the video. I talked to a guy named Frank, KK7FNJ. I don't know if he's on. Kilo 7, November, Fox, Julia. This is KC7UDH. Frank, are you on today? Or anybody else out there in the Arizona network? KC7UDH standing by for first contact for the ham radio video. Same way, this is what's totally in the code plug now. I've got another code plug, which I haven't downloaded yet, because I got to set some stuff up. We are going to talk about we're going to talk about specifically what goes in a code plug. We're also going to talk about different DMR networks. Okay, we're going to talk about everything Brandmeister, TGIF, DMR Plus. We're going to talk about QuadNet, what that is today on the Ham Radio Monday experience, okay? Ham Radio Monday series. A dedicated playlist for everything related ham radio. We talk ham radio, how-tos, and all that good stuff, and we talk about everything that's ham radio related. So we don't have no contacts on this thing, so we're going to get into what goes in a code plug specifically. Speaking of, talking about digital, we're not going to talk about analog, because you could add that to your code plug. So basically, a code plug is a huge dump file, okay? You take a code plug and just dump it in the radio. The 3S, the RT3S, has 3,000 channels, 250 zones, so you could actually program each, and in each talk list, each talk group list has 32 slots. All right. So, what goes in a code plug if you're talking digital? Well, it's simple. If you're working from a hotspot, you're going to put your hotspot, if it's a duplex or a simplex. If it's a duplex, you're going to be running a shift, okay? So it'll be plus or minus, whatever. So my hotspot is 438.800, okay? Now, you will want, if you're running, let's talk about simplex. So simplex, if you're running a simplex hotspot, you're going to want your receive frequency the same as your transmit. So you're going to want 438.800 as the receive. You're going to want your transmit 438.800 as the transmit. You're going to want no tone because we're not dealing with a tone. You are going to want a color code. Now, what's a color code? A color code is basically like a PL tone for analog, but it's for digital. So you're going to want it on color code 1. You're going to want it on time slot 2. These DMR radios both do 1 and 2 time slots. Okay, so basically, I talked about DMR last week, how everything got started, how it all got started, who come up with it, and of course it was from Motorola. Motorola was the first one to come up with it, and the other brands started coming out with it, and ham radio adopted it. So, again, to set up for your first code plug, you're going to want your repeater frequency. If you're running a zoom spot or open spot or anything like that, especially if it's a simplex, you're going to want your frequency to be the same, 438.800 on the receive, 438.800 on the transmit. You're going to want color code 1 time slot 2. Now, we're going to add what are called contacts. What are contacts? Well, simple. I just showed you on my radio what it is. Contacts are groups that you want to add, talk groups. So you can add Arizona statewide. I have everything. I have Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, California, Colorado. I have Australia, I have Australia, UK, and London. I believe I have some Canada in there too as well. I don't know. But like I said, I've been having to get different code plugs from KC5, DJR. Hats off to Dave DeSoup. I'm getting ready to set up TGIF. We're going to talk about that. So, Once you have your DMR ID and your call sign, how do you get involved in one of these networks? What do you do? Well, let's talk about Brandmeister. Now, Brandmeister, you used to not have to have a password. Now you have to have a Brandmeister password to make Brandmeister active, talk to the hotspot pretty much. So, you go to brandmeister.network, create an account, then you go under the self-care, and you go and under Brandmeister Security, and you want to go create your own password under that. You want to enable Brandmeister first, but then you want to go into your self-care and go create your own Brandmeister password in your hotspot. If you're running a ZumSpot, I'm going to really deal with PyStar, because that's what I'm running. If you're running a ZumSpot, you're going to want to go to your configuration. You want to log into your PyStar with the username PyStar, the password Raspberry. Click sign in. Under that, you want to go to DMR configuration. All right, you want to click on DMR master. Then you want to go to Brandmeister. Click on Brandmeister. Click whatever your server. I'm on 3103 San Jose, California. I'm on that server. Then you want to go into what's called Brandmeister Security. If you know your password that you just created for Brandmeister Security, you want to put that in your hotspot. Okay? And then, boom, apply all changes. And then, boom, it's all set. You're ready to go on Brandmeister. Well, you might want to expand your horizon a little bit and go into and think, man, I like this digital stuff. What am I gonna do to expand my horizons? Well, let's talk about TGIF. TGIF is a network that's slowly growing and going to be about as pretty big as Brandmeister, but not in the sense. But TGIF stands for Thank God It's Friday. You know the old term, Thank God It's Friday. Well, TGIF. Here's how that network works. There are 3 things you have to open up. And every time you tinker with something, it's going to take out your Brandmeister password. So, there's a script. I haven't even begun to do this yet, but there's a script that Dave sent me. KC5DGR. He sent me a script, and it shows everything that you need. You need your Brandmeister password, and you need what's called a TGIF security key. How do you get it? Well, first you got to go to TGIF.network, create an account. Then you got to you log into your account. Then you go under TGIF user security. Click on your call sign, and then just hit the copy button and copy that huge password. It's about a 16-character length password. And in the script, there's a special script. After you enable 3 things. So what you're going to want to enable, you're going to want to enable DMR Master. You want to enable Brandmeister. You want to enable DMR Plus. You want to enable the QuadNet. I'll talk all about that. And you want to enable XLX. So, in a nutshell, you don't need really 4 things. You just need DMR Plus, XLX, and you need the Brandmeister. That's the 3 things you need to get running if you want to do just free DMR, have it all set up like how Dave showed me his. So you get this script, alright? This script, you just copy. There's a special area, and all you do is you delete everything out of that area, and you copy the script, and all you do is paste it in the special area, and you, boom, apply changes, and your radios open up to free DMR. You can get on QuadNet, TGIF, which is a crap load of talk groups for TGIF. Not to mention, we have the CQ Blind Hams talk group. We have a ton of other talk groups. The Long Island CW talk group. We have so much. We have a crap load of information dealing with DMR Plus. We have QuadNet. And QuadNet, they run a nightly net every week. Every day they run a certain net on the QuadNet. So it's well worth it to check out the QuadNet if you're a licensed ham. Guys, I'm going to get off this thing. I hope this really, really helps you. And then, of course, I'm not going to go off this thing quite yet. I'm going to leave you with this. After you get your code plug, all set up, then what you're going to do, you're going to go right to the radio. It's going to write the code plug. Boom. Now, how do you make it blind accessible? Well, boom, you could write voice prompts into your code plug. You want to write the voice prompt first. Choose a male or female voice. I prefer the male voice. So, guys, boom, you got your radio all set up. You got your radio open for free DMR. You guys could rock and roll. Guys, take care. I'm going to go ahead and end this today. I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment, and hit all them buttons on my video. Take care, guys. Take care.